One of the things that we struggled with in Greece is moving away from just using annual assessments and really looking for those more frequent measures of learning so that we can really identify students that need assistance along the way. I don't know what you find, but of particular challenge to us are students that are several grade levels below expectation, very credit deficient, or not have the reading and writing and math skills to be able to easily access grade level content. We spend a lot of time identifying students that need to be taught both the grade level content but need to have the skills behind that built, and we look for ways to accelerate learning, and that's something that requires a fairly systematic approach to not only the teaching. It's got to be very precise, but you have to have fairly good means of assessing learning at more frequent intervals.
And Huntington is unique, particularly in the downstate area. We're a very diverse district. I think the main focus at this point has been on a group such as economically disadvantaged. You have students in that subgroup that overlap into other subgroups, but I think our performance there is most in need of attention. We've been able to sit down and really drill down, disaggregate data collected through these focus walks and engage administratively and engage peer-to-peer in conversations that direct teachers that may not be focused in the right way more specifically on the needs of specific students. It's more of a differentiated, individualized approach. There are students in all different situations in terms of being on the learning curve, and the goal is, I think you mentioned it, to accelerate learning in certain cases, to make sure that the progress is maintained, and also to make sure the rigor is there. We've seen some improvements in terms of state assessment scores. We've certainly seen some improvements in terms of the manner in which instruction is delivered, and I think our ultimate goal is to close the achievement gap across the board.
Equitable access is an issue in Greece as well that we're working on. One of the things that we have been doing this year is monitoring student learning at 5-week intervals very systematically and routinely across the district. We're this year trying an approach where we actually, at 10-week intervals, have principals in each of the schools determine which students are furthest from the expectations, and we're looking at then redeploying staff and altering schedules actually along the way to continue that focus to make sure that we know which students need additional assistance to meet the grade level expectations, and that then we can find staff members to work in teams so that they can address student needs across the board.